Alrighty, we are back with you here. This is Linda Bennett, Metaphysically Speaking, and we are talking about crossing over, losing friends to from one dimension into another, and also reincarnation. By the way, what's really interesting is we've got two pussycats with us today, and I have always found that pussycats especially love psychic energy and spiritual energy. Every pussycat I ever had always has come in with me to meditate. I start out by myself, and the next thing I know, something furry and adorable is either in my lap or at my feet or rubbing her nose up against my leg. And you will discover that the calmer you become, the more peaceful you become with yourself and your life. And if you start to meditate, especially pussycats, even dogs, will come and want to be around you. And we have Mr. Tony with us tonight. We have Miss Belle, who's been meowing and is now back with us. Here we go. Because they can feel energy. You can feel energy too. You can feel if it's going to be a good day or a crummy day. You can feel when you walk into your office or workplace if people are in a bad mood, if something's wrong, or if it's going to be a pretty happy, enjoyable afternoon. So animals are attracted to happy energy just like we are. Wouldn't you rather be in a nice environment instead of a yucky environment? There's Belle again rubbing up against me. I'm looking out at a beautiful pond with a magnificent waterfall. And we just had a little squirrel here who likes to hop on top of the waterfall and dip down into one of the little rocks that has a little puddle and take his freshwater drink every day. And watching the koi leap up into the air and chase each other around the pond. I mean, that's such an enjoyable environment. And even if you don't have a waterfall in your backyard, you can create a small pond if you like, or make sure you have flowers and something you enjoy. And then you can say to me, oh, well, Linda, if the earth is going to change, if we're going to have volcanoes, if we're going to have earthquakes, by the way, with the eclipse we just had, the solar eclipse, I think there was a 5.4 earthquake in Italy. And there are usually volcanic eruptions and earthquakes several days before, several days after the eclipses, because they do have a profound effect on the planet and on people. So you said, well, what if everything blows up? Well, it's not all going to blow up. But what happens if we get flooded? Okay, that's then, this is now. Why shouldn't you look at a pretty plant or look at a waterfall or look at a beautiful tree? What's wrong with now? What's wrong with you enjoying it now? Again, don't worry about 2012, December. Worry about right now. Worry about creating a lovely environment for yourself. If that means cleaning off your desk and putting a philodendron there, great. By the way, if you have cats, make sure you don't have any lilies inside the house because they are deadly poison to cats. You don't want any peace lilies. You don't want any lilies, Easter lilies, any kind of a lily is deadly poison. Poinsettias, you're going to have to bring your cat to the vet, but nevertheless, they're generally not that poisonous. But lilies are. But why shouldn't you look at pretty plants? Why shouldn't you look at a pretty painting, even if it's a poster? Why shouldn't you surround yourself with lovely things? Your environment does count. Do you have gray walls? Do you have beige walls? Do you have white walls? How about some color in your life? How about most of those nice big box stores have the little pints of paint. So you can paint like a couple of long strips on your wall, live with it for a few weeks and see if you like it. Even if you paint just one wall, a beautiful color that you enjoy. It can be a deep forest green. My guest room is deep forest green. My house is fuchsia on the inside. And my bedroom is a dusty rose. So paint the colors that bring you joy, give you peace and harmony, and why not? What you're doing is generating the energy for now and for the future so that the last memory you have of your physical location is pleasant. Even if a giant volcano erupts, say, out in the largest caldera that we have on Earth, which is Yellowstone Park, even if that blows up and the entire planet is covered with ash, you have lived for 8-10 months in beautiful color, a beautiful environment, lovely trees outside. If you're in the city, get yourself some potted plants. Make your environment delightful. You're entitled to that. And don't tell me you can't afford it, because if you go to the supermarket or you go to the big box stores, they have these little plants on a big table, and they're usually $1.50. And you water it and you fertilize it, and it'll double in size in 6 months. So you can afford 1 or 2 plants. And everything that you create is a memory inside your subconscious. So if you're creating unhappy, ugly memories, that's in your subconscious. And believe me, it affects you on a daily basis. If you start being preoccupied with whether or not we're going to have a giant volcano or giant earthquakes, that's what you are going to be focusing on. And even if it doesn't happen, that's the memory you bring with you to the astral world. And it's very important that you not bring those false memories, because you're going to need to take time to detox those memories. And if you've created beauty around you, that's what you're going to bring. You're going to bring thoughts of beauty and loveliness. And isn't that nicer than a beige wall? Isn't that nicer than nothing? So even though you are what you think and you are what you eat, even if you had a week left to live, what if somebody told you you were going to die in 7 more days? You're going to roll over and kick and scream? Or you're going to call your friends and loved ones and say, I love you. You've been wonderful in my life. I'm going to be crossing over soon. Or maybe you don't want to tell that to everybody. Just say you've been really important and I really appreciate your friendship and your love. And kiss your cat, your dog, and spend time reading good books, spend time meditating, spend time doing things that you enjoy, spend time appreciating the blessings that you have had, because you will be regenerating them. We're laughing because Belle is howling her little brains out. And she's a pussy. How old is Belle?
About 4.
She's a Russian blue. And they are beautiful cats, but they are very temperamental. Sorry, I'm saying so, but nevertheless they are. And they don't like an interference in their environment, but they're loving this. Tony is right over here next to us in his little cat bed, all curled up, and every now and then he looks up over at us and checks and sees what we're doing. Surrounding yourself with pets is fantastic, and you don't need to spend a lot of money on purebreds. There are tons of animals in your humane society and rescue groups who desperately need help. I rescued my pussycat Angel, and I rescued her at 12 and a half. She's 18 and a half and was just at the vet's yesterday and got a clean bill of health. She was in terrible health when I got her, and my vet, Animal and Bird Medical Center of Palm Harbor, Florida, Dr. Joel Murphy, is fabulous. His crew is fabulous. It's a medical center, literally, with all kinds of equipment you find in human hospitals. I joke and say, you could perform surgery on me in here. With his knowledge and his equipment and his fabulous techs, we have kept Angel going for 6 years when he didn't think we were going to have her for 6 more days. Her mouth was all bloody. Her teeth were falling out in his hands. She had never been to the vet. The woman who had her did not take care of her. And she's got now 3 teeth on the top, a couple little baby teeth in the front. And she's this little toothless wonder, but she does great in eating, and she's happy, and she plays, and she loves the minute I come in the room, she looks up and she smiles, and she's happy to be with me and has a happy life. The minute I come near her, she starts to purr and she rolls over to get her tummy kissed. And this cat would barely want to be petted. She wasn't used to being loved on. And